Okay guys, so we're going to do a presentation on sizing conductor based on the ambient temperature, ampacity, and derating factor. All right, so our presentation is brought to you by the Visual Society of Engineers. All right, so the minimum required ampacity will be determined based upon 310, 15B16 of the table within the article of the National Electrical Code. All right, so in determining that size, we got a 2-aught conductor of THH value or THHN. THHN is the value of the temperature on the conductor. So we're going to look at the table of 310, 15, B16 that is within the 90 degrees Celsius column for the value of this conductor. All right, so I'm going to look in the table to determine that value of that conductor. Right? So where's 200 amps is concerned, I'm just going to run my figure down towards 200 amps. However, the closest value that I'm able to get to this 200 amps circuit breaker is 195 amps. All right? So to my left, within the first column, where the size of the conductor is, that would have been a 2-aught. All right? So that is quite straightforward. But as you see, we only get 195 amps. If we can go back to Article 240.5, we would understand that rather 240.4 would be that we understand that when you're sizing conductor less than 800 ampere, the breaker size somewhat can be greater than the size of the conductor. However, if you notice, the value is always within the proximity or closest to the value of that circuit breaker. So we have 195 amps, so that closest value we can get is 2-aught. If this breaker or conductor is supposed to exceed the value of the breaker, then it will be sensed quite easily, right? Anything too far out of range would not provide sensing action where the breaker can actually be activated. All right, so that is how we obtain this value. Now, the second question is, what is the minimum size THHN conductor permitted to terminate on a 70 amp circuit breaker or fuse if the circuit breaker and the equipment terminal are listed for 75 degrees Celsius conductor sizing? Now, this rules for terminating conductor within a terminal is very important. Whenever you have a terminals, whatever conductor you terminate within that terminal should be of the same temperature or greater of the conductor, or else the value for the temperature of the conductor is going to take precedence over the temperature of the conductor. Now, in the case of THHN, the value of that temperature of that conductor is actually 90 degrees Celsius. So, of course, it's going to exceed the value of the temperature of the equipment terminal. So, this is how we interpret this. We have a 70 amp circuit breaker fuse. If the circuit breaker and the equipment terminal is listed for 75 degrees Celsius, we're gonna look within the table 310, 15, B16, all right? And we're going to look for the value for the closest THH conductor within the range of 70 amps. All right. Remember the rules is that the conductor of amplitude 800 ampere or less, we're okay to actually size it within the proximity of that breaker. That means we don't have to make it exact, but in some cases it can be greater, it can be equal. All right. But this is only time we consider the breaker size a little bit greater than the conductor, the ampacity of the conductor. All right. So looking in the table 310 15B16, we're going to look for 70 amps for THHN, and that's 90 degrees Celsius column. All right. So as I said, the value closest to 70 amps would have been 75. All right. So that would have been a 6 AWG conductor. All right. Can we go to 55 amps matching to the 8 AWG? No, that is within our way out of our range. Okay, so the best conductor we can choose for the 70 amp circuit breaker would have been 75 amps. All right, matching to a 6 AWG. All right, so anything too far out of range, it's not appropriate to choose as the right conductor for the circuit breaker. Right, so that is how we determine the value for the conductor that is of THHN. Next question we're going to look at is number 3. What is the ampacity of a 1-odd conductor? XHHW-2 conductor. If the ambient temperature is 108 degrees Fahrenheit. All right. So we're going to go back to table 310 15B16 as well as B2. Right. So we're going to use these two tables and we're going to find the value of the conductor, right? Ampacity that is required for XHHW2 conductor. So first thing, ambient actually changes the value of the conductor based upon the amount of current that is going to flow within it. So when we have hot ambience or temperature or surrounding, we tend to have excess resistance within a circuit or a conductor. So the current value tend to be lost. All right. So we're going to look at 310 15B16 and we're going to find the value for a 1-odd conductor of XHHW2 and as determined this value under the XHH, that is third column of the temperature rating of the conductor, 90 degrees Celsius. That would have determined rather to be 170 amps. All right. And then we're going to also go to the ambient adjustment table where we're going to find out what the adjusting value is going to be. All right. So for the 90-degree column, for the XHHW2, for 108 degrees Fahrenheit, we can see where this value is going to be 0.87. All right. So we're going to take this value of 0.87 to times it by 170 amps, and then we're going to be adjusted to a value of 147.9 amps. So that is how this works to give us this adjustment. Right? So the effect of the ambient on the conductor reduce the value of 170 amps to 147.9 amps. The next thing we're going to look at is question 4. What's the adjusted ampacity of 10 THHN conductor when 9 current carrying conductor are installed in a raceway or a cable? So 10 THHN, or rather 9 THHN, 10 AWG within a raceway, right? The effect of having that numbers within a raceway would have the value or the rate, the ampacity of the conductor. All right? So we're going to use table 31015 B16, 31015 B3 as well to find the value of the conductor when it is being adjusted due to the bundling effect. All right? So currently for 9 conductor, we need an adjustment value of 70%. All right? So the next thing we're going to look at is the value of the conductor at 10 AWG THHN, and that is 40 amps. So simply, the adjustment would have been 0.70 times 40 amps, which would have been 28 amps. All right? So the effect of the bundling actually reduce the value of the conductor. Now, question 5, what is the ampacity of 4 current carrying conductor for 8 THHN conductor installed in an ambient temperature when the temperature value is 100 degrees Fahrenheit? All right, so we're going to use 31015 B16, B2, and B3. All right, so we're looking at the effect of conductor bunching together and also the effect of the ambient surrounding on this conductor. So we're going to find out the value of a THHN 8 number size or 8 AWG within 31050 B16 and see what this value is going to be. All right. So for number 8 within the THHN column, 90 degrees Celsius column, that would have been 55 amps. All right. And next we want to find the derating value for 4 conductor bundling. All right. That would have been 80 or 8%, which is 0.80 of the value. All right. And next thing we're going to look at is the ambient adjustment for 100 degree Fahrenheit. All right. So this value would have been 0.19 or 0.91. So we're going to take all 3 values, including the 5 amps taken from 31050 B16 and 0.80 for the 4 conductor derating factor, and the ambient adjustment of 0.91. Right? So finally, we'll get 40 amps. All right, so the next question I'm going to look at here is the ampacity. What's the ampacity of a 10 THHN conductor when there are 8 current carrying conductor installed in the same raceway in a dry location and the ambient temperature is 100 degrees Fahrenheit? All right, so this one, all we need to do is to find the value of a 10 THHN conductor and the value of 8 conductor within a raceway and the temperature adjustment for the ambient of 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So basically, going from the table, 310-15B60, you can see all right, so 310-15B16, you can see where we have this adjusted this value for the 10 AWG to be 40 amps. All right, and the next one we're going to look at is the value for the conductor bundling for 8 in a raceway. All right, and that would have been 70 or 0.70, right, for the adjustment factor. Next, we're going to look at the temperature adjustment at 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which would have been 0.19 or 0.91. All right, so that value is just taken and multiplied together to get a final value of 25 amps. So that's it, folks. We thank you for taking the opportunity to look into this presentation, because this one is something that you need in terms of sizing conductor and appropriately, installing them within the electrical circuit to provide protection for your load. All right. So we thank you for taking the opportunity to listening on this presentation. So please visit us at the Vigilant Society of Engineers for more information on sizing conductor based on ampacity, derating factor, and ambient. All right. So thank you again and subscribe to our channel as we want to provide you with more content like this. Take care and I'm out. Thanks.
Conductor ampacity. Oh boy. Let me stretch on this. And you really should stop the DVD. Go get yourself a glass of iced tea, cup of coffee, just take a break, take a little nap, come back. I'm going to try the best I can with our guys here to try to not make it any more difficult than it probably is. Ready for this? Conductor ampacity. Let me make a couple discussions before we get too far in it. Number one, the ampacity of a conductor is defined in accordance with Article 100. And let's take a look at this graphic right here. And here's what it says. It's the maximum current in amperes a conductor can carry continuously under the condition of use without exceeding its temperature rating. Condition of use. Okay, here we go. So this is 3-gauge wire, THHN-2, which is 90 degrees C. I would go to table 310-15B16, and it would say 90 degrees C. That wire is rated 115 amps. And that table is based on 3 current carrying conductors. And that table ampacity is based on 86 degrees Fahrenheit. So this top part by itself is identifying per table 31015B16 that a 3-gauge wire is rated 115 amps and it can carry 115 amps continuously. However, 310.15b, the second example right here, this would be a 310.15b example. There are conditions where you would correct the temperature and you might even adjust the temperature. And let's assume that I had a wire rated 90 degrees C. I go to the table rated 115 amps. I have to correct it for temperature. I have to adjust it for conductor bundling. And now I have an 80 amp wire. So the ampacity conductor is its ability to carry current continuously under the condition of use. Go back to the graphic.